So INART propositions themselves not as the first, but the best and final word for any 1/6 scale figure. Today they have dropped some teaser photos of Ben Affleck from Batman vs. Superman. Is it superior to the Hot Toys? Is it worth the title of INART? Let's go ahead and evaluate that right now. So this is all very preliminary. We don't know all the details. We just know that this figure is coming really soon. So I don't have a price point for you right now. We're going to start off with this head sculpt. And yeah, this is very similar to the Hot Toys figure, which I do have and I do love. This is almost exactly the same. It does bring up a little bit of realism. The only thing that I could see is I think that the hair strands are a little bit soft on the tips, but otherwise everything looks good. Do I feel like it's a touch above Hot Toys? I would say in this head sculpt, yes, this does look good. Now, I also want to take note of a major flaw that Hot Toys had on their previous figure of Ben Affleck. It would be this collar piece. They had a little square piece that had a peg in it that you would push in, and almost everybody, every YouTuber I saw that tried to manipulate that cowl, they broke their little peg. I was real careful with mine. I didn't break mine, fortunately. So it looks like INART has done it right. Now, this is what we're looking for in 1/6 scale figures. When you look at this picture, you're not quite sure if you're looking at a toy. If you're really looking at Ben Affleck, you can't really tell. And that's a win. Getting onto the physique. I have some things to say about the physique. I went and I took a look at the press photos and behind the scene photos for this movie. And what I thought was that the shoulders weren't quite right. They seem a little bit too large, out of proportion. But taking a look at the photos, this is actually how the suit looked. And his chest muscles are much smaller than in the Hot Toys figure. But it's what it looked like in the movie, more so than the Hot Toys. So they get points for the accuracy on that. This is looking better than the Hot Toys. I must admit, I'm a Hot Toys fan guy, but INART, they win in this one right now. Now you can see here on the thighs of Ben Affleck here, his legs are a lot more stubby and the quads are not as huge as on the Hot Toys. It doesn't look as cool in my opinion, but I do think it's more accurate to the movie. So if you're going for accuracy, this is going to be the one for you. So the question is, if you already have the Hot Toys, is anything about this figure so far tempting you? Me personally, I don't think I'm going to pull the trigger on this one. Now, I did have the Catwoman, and I did go ahead and place a pre-order for the INART version because I thought that one was far superior. But so far, I think this Ben Affleck from Batman Superman is better, but I don't know if it's worth an upgrade. However, if you're one of the few people that held out waiting on the INART, I think you have a win here. I really do. So yeah, taking a look at this photo, you could tell here they went for accuracy here and not really that superhero look, even though, you know, he's a superhero. But this does look more accurate, I gotta say. It's a more relaxed, normalized, not too crazy physique here we have on Ben Affleck. So far, it's a good looking sculpt. I don't have any qualms with the physique as far as its accuracy. Whether or not you prefer the Hot Toys or not, I guess that's going to be a personal decision. I think the Hot Toys is a little bit more of an idealized representation of Batman, whereas this one is a more screen accurate version of Batman, if that makes any sense. All the texturing on the suit looks great. I like that the bat signal on the chest, it has like a little bit of three-dimensionality. You can see it poking out right here in the corner. That's a good look. The one thing I would take caution with INART and their press release photos is it's very stylized. Not that I don't think it's cool. It is cool. I like the way they do it, but it is highly stylized. So we don't get like a very clean head-on look at the figure. So there's a lot of interpretation and a lot of manipulation of the photo, shall we say. But I'll be damned right here with this one right here. If you go ahead and you take a look at like the press release photos of Ben Affleck, there's a shot of him looking straight on at the camera. And this looks just like it. You would be hard pressed to decipher whether this was a toy or not. Okay, now here is where things go off the rails and not in a good way. This second head sculpt does not look good. It doesn't look good. Something about the face, it just looks wrong. It looks a little warped. It's a little bit leaning to the right. And if we zoom in on the hairline, that is not a good looking hairline. I don't know what is going on with his hair. It doesn't look natural. There's a hard hairline. and you can see the pieces of the hair coming out of the hairline. You could tell that they're separate parts. One thing about Hot Toys is they always nail hair sculpts, always. And that's something that it looks like INART struggles with. From this angle, things clear up, but once again, that hairline is not it. They're going to have to refine that. If they're going to be the ultimate final word on this figure, they're going to have to fix that. See, like from this angle, you could tell that the sculpt is kind of leaning. It's a little askew. Something's off here. They need to redo this. The other sculpt with the messy hair, nice, fantastic, near perfection. This, not good. INART is kicking it up a notch with the cowl on. This thing looks super screen accurate. It looks like a real human being. It's not that, once again, idealized version of Batman that we get with the Hot Toys, which I like. I'm going to stick with because I already own it and I don't want to drop no more money. But this one, so far it's next level. I'm not the biggest INART fan, if you could tell, but they did do a good job. So the face on this head sculpt with the messy hair, it's fantastic. But INART, once again, they're struggling with this sculpted hair. They're going to have to clean that up. I think Hot Toys just does a way better job with hair. Now, we do have some hints here that this is going to be coming with a second head sculpt because we do have a grimacing head sculpt here. So it looks like we're going to get two, or maybe you're going to get two because I'm not going to pick this one up. So you're going to get two head sculpts if you pick this up. Everything on this 1/6 scale figure is very similar to the Hot Toys. We've got the knuckle dusters, and here is the base that they're using. It's concrete base, mimics concrete. Simple enough, can't be mad at it. I wonder how they're going to be attaching the figure to this base, if they're going to go ahead and change up the style and make it all magnetic, I would hope, instead of like the system that they previously used, which I know a lot of users had problems and issues with. So hopefully they upgrade this to be just all magnetic. What do you guys think? Are you looking to pick this up? Are you going to pass? You already have the Hot Toys? Let me know in the comments below, and I will check you guys out in the next one. Peace.